Why does the black man serve the white man? Why does everything the black man do benefit the white man? Why does the black man say freedom is doing what I want to do? And why is it that everything he wants to do enriches the European?
Welcome to the desert of the real.
The Atlanta Falcons owner, he has reduced the prices of the concessions. Atlanta Falcons opening up a new stadium, and food is gonna be like $2, drinks $3 with refills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is he doing it?
He said he wanted to just keep things fair for the fans. You know, they do have their PSLs. Those are expensive, so he wanted to give back to the fans.
That's cool. And
he said he's going to keep them that way. That stadium is going to have the Super Bowl there, and they're going to have like another big event there. He said, and the price is going to remain the same for those, and for the future, he's going to keep them at a low price.
Well, it just goes to show, like, this is something that I've been talking about for the longest, is that you don't have to gouge people to make a profit. You know, just the mere fact that he can do that shows that he's going to make a profit regardless. So all of these people talking, you know, trying to cry broke because you reduce prices, they just full of shit.
Yeah.
You know, mark the shit up like 1,000%. So what? You mark it up 500%, and what did you lose? You didn't lose anything. You're never going to lose.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, it's just a question of how much profit. Because to me, just as a rule, if you can't afford to pay your employees a living wage, then your profits are a bubble that needs to bust.
Mhm.
You know, spread the wealth to your workers. Stop trying to put it off on the consumers, because that's what they'll do. They say, oh well, if we give them minimum wage or living wage, then we got to raise the prices. No, you don't. Come out of your profits. Nobody ever talks about that. Like whenever they raise that point, oh, we got to raise the price. No, you don't. Yeah. You just got to come out of the profits that you make and spread the wealth with your employees. You dirtbag.
Well, the profit. Yeah. You know what I mean? The profits, you know, that's my coke, whore, and tranny money.
Well, give it up and pay your workers.
That's what they into.
Give it up and pay your workers. Like, you know what kills me? And this is what I remember having this discussion when we went to Atlanta, and I was discussing it with my cousin.
Right.
And he was saying, he was looking at things from the point of view of the owners. And the owners always say, well, if you pay like McDonald's work, like this is the argument that most people against the minimum wage always use, is that you shouldn't pay McDonald's workers or fast food workers a living wage because it's not the type of job that justifies that. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. They provide a service that you pay for, and you go and you expect to be served, right?
Mm-hmm.
If it's so beneath you, what are you doing going into a McDonald's?
Right. Mind you, we've all been in a fast food restaurant and see how some people could treat those people. Like, you know what I'm saying? We've seen that. We see the shifts they work. We see the people that working at Wendy's a couple of years ago get robbed and murdered in the back in Queens. I mean,
right.
I don't. You know what I don't like? If a person, this whole thing about looking down on people that provide a service, it's just like guys who frequent strip clubs and look down at strippers. She's providing a service. That's why your ass is there.
Right. Look, man, I always say, man, it takes a lot of work to shake that ass for cash. You gotta tell motherfuckers that like Peter Griffin, you sexy for 15 minutes or more if he's paying you. Shit, I'm not.
They're providing. They are providing a service, just like a fast food worker is providing a service. How do you go get the service and then disrespect the person providing it to you? It doesn't make any sense.
Right. I've never been in a restaurant and said, I've never given a hard time to somebody that goes to a restaurant. Like, I don't believe in that kind of shit. Like, you know what I mean? I don't sit there and go, you know what I mean? I just don't believe in that. Like, they're telling the American people to their face. They're telling poor people to their face, you're not worth the money. We need you to look down. We need to look down on you. We need to keep you down. That's what they're being told.
And it's a bunch of double talk at that. Because one minute they're saying if you don't have a job, you're a bum. Right. Then when you have somebody who's at a fast food restaurant who works 40 hours a week, that person is not a bum. That person is getting up in the morning, contributing to society.
Yes.
So you look down on them too? So if you got a job, you're a bum. If you ain't got a job, you're a bum. Which one is it?
This is like, this all falls in line to a couple of years ago when they had the last NBA lockout where the owners were crying broke. And when they finally settled the labor, 3 years later, you're giving Kent Bazemore $20 million a year. You have to have a provision lined up. You're so out of control with your money that you say you don't make that you have to be given a provision where you can cut a salary if you're not happy with it. But they were crying broke and they were losing money. Yeah, I mean, it's what these teams do, man. It's what they do. They
create what they've done is they control the narrative. When it comes to the players making money, then everybody's there's a limit. They're like, oh, that's too much. But when it comes to owners and what they make, nobody questions it. There's no limits on what they make.
Right. I always say when I come on here, I say all the time, like this country is ass backwards in the sense that professional sports in this country is the only avenue where we'll take the owner side though, for the most part. We'll take the organization side, we'll take the master side, and we'll sit on the players. We'll sit on
because they've been able to throw that narrative around. The heavy is the head that holds the crown, and the more money we talk about, the more problems we see sung by a bunch of fucking broke people.
Right. Why don't you take less money so I can build a team to win myself a championship and increase my revenue? You know what I'm saying? Right. Why don't you come to OTAs because I want you here? Like, it's the narrative. They do this and we fall for it.
Right.
And we fall. I mean, and we all know there's reasons why we fall for it because we want to fall for it. Because and there's all kind of reasons why. But it's the narrative in professional sports in America.
Right. And I've actually had poor broke people talk to me about, the more money you get, the more problems. I'm like, well, let me have the problems. I'll deal with the problems. I don't see nobody volunteering to be broke.
Right.
Yeah. Just so get out of here with that bullshit.